We are less than 60 days out from when Trump will take office. Biden still has time to make an impact, though. And a group of progressive lawmakers are urging Biden to do just that. Specifically, they would like him to take action regarding marijuana. Senator Elizabeth Warren was involved with drafting a letter to Biden. Senators Bernie Sanders and Representative Ilhan Omar also signed on to it. Here are some details of that. Legislators wrote that the simple descheduling of marijuana will not end federal criminalization, resolve its harms, or meaningfully address the gap between federal and state cannabis policy. Possession and use of recreational marijuana and much state legal medical marijuana will continue to be a violation of federal law. Further, the Biden administration has the opportunity to further reduce the harms of marijuana's criminalization before the end of this administration, the lawmakers write, requesting that Biden issue broader clemency, including another round of pardons and commutations to reduce sentences or end terms of incarceration for individuals convicted of other cannabis-related offenses, as well as issuing a memorandum deprioritizing the prosecution of individuals and businesses for or 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 state level legal marijuana activity. I don't know what it is. But Biden has made some progress in this area already, thankfully. In 2022, he pardoned all prior federal offenses of simple possession of marijuana, and he urged all governors to do the same with regard to state offenses. He also ordered HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra and AG Merrick Garland to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 substance, which denotes substances with a moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. However, the letter asserts that Biden's pardon released very few people from prison, with an estimated 3,000 remaining in federal prison for charges other than just simple possession. When announcing the aforementioned actions, Biden said in a 2022 statement, "As I often said during my campaign for president, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. Sending people to prison for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives and incarcerated people for conduct that many states no longer prohibit. Criminal records for marijuana possession have also imposed needless barriers to employment, housing, and educational opportunities." Biden also noted the prosecutorial disparity between white and non-white users in his statement, which was also mentioned in the letter lawmakers wrote to him. They said data cited by lawmakers notes that deprioritization of arrests and seizures related to marijuana possession are necessary, given that of the almost 700,000 drug possession arrests each year, 1/3 are for marijuana possession, and Black Americans are almost 4 times more likely than white Americans to be arrested for marijuana possession. Sharon, if we could get on the other side of this debate, it would be long overdue, very much welcomed. There's a lot of what I see in all of this is that there's a lot of problems that we're dealing with here in the United States that are entirely of our own making, right? A lot of this just feels very unnecessary. And the fact that we're still dealing with a lot of these issues, even though we know that it isn't benefiting the majority of Americans, the fact that we're still dealing with it, it's just like, why? Like we already have the data. We already know that the majority of Americans support it. Like, just get it done. Do you think he's going to get it done, Sharon?
I think he's going to try. I think he should try. And I think the reason it hasn't been done is because, frankly, it's big business to rack up people with these charges and even prison terms. Prison, felonies, it's all big business. And there's an element, one percenters, as I'd like to call them, who don't want it to go away. And so it's not just as simple as, yeah, this is the easiest, this is the low hanging fruit, shooting fish in a barrel, okay? Do it. So you have to then look at why hasn't it been done? Because keeping your thumb on certain populations is good for a certain kind of business.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's what it usually comes down to. And especially in this country, we have so much private prisons, right? Which is insane to think about, but they're profitable businesses. And usually, whenever there's something that's so blatantly obvious and it's still a problem and it's not getting resolved, a lot of the time, most of the time, almost all of the time, actually, the answer as to why it hasn't been resolved is because someone is making money off of the problem. And those people happen to be lobbyists or they're in our Congress. And how they got there is anyone's guess. Why do we keep voting these people in? I don't know.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?